Counterparts who have awakened to the connection and are aware of the twin flame journey have realised within the last few weeks, at some point randomly, that since meeting with their counterparts in 3D, time has seemed to pass extremely quickly since then, within a blink of an eye. It's how quick the timelines can be, for example. 2018 may have seemed like a significant year for you, and now all of a sudden it's 7 years on, although it feels like yesterday. Because counterparts have been equally so caught up with the many lessons since meeting, that time seems to have flown, and it is scaring the collective. There is nothing to worry about here, as Spirit is saying you have the rest of your lives to get this right, to take your time, as you can't rush greatness. You will look back at this time and reflect when you are where you physically want to be in the near future, and it will all seem worth it. I'm hearing make the most of now, being alone and in solitude, and find the greatness and blessings in being alone with your thoughts. Do the things that you've really been wanting to do, regardless of where you are on your journey. The feminines may have had recent contact with her masculine, and it's about talking. Divine masculines may seem serious when they mention something like, I need to talk with you about something, or can we talk? Sending the feminine's heart into a frenzy, thinking this is the time he's going to confess his love and his wishes for me. However, it always ends up completely different to what the feminine thinks they should talk about, and then she gets a sinking anxiety feeling in her stomach. Nervous, tingly stomach. This shows Divine Feminine is subconsciously aware that this is what Divine Masculine wants to do, but just can't seem to find the courage to discuss what is really going on in his mind, and will find any excuse just to talk. I can see the masculine managed to hear Divine Feminine's voice on the phone recently, or on a voice note reply, and that is enough to keep them going for a long time. They just want to hear her voice to make sure she's still going to respond to them. The masculine has been feeling hopeless with no contact or communication coming from the feminine, and truly feels her feelings have ended for him. Divine Masculine's messages are short, can feel snappy, pointless to the feminine. The stress felt by the masculines are felt through the messages, and the projecting of his fears is clear. The masculine is moody and irritable, giving you attitude, trying to get in touch with you on WhatsApp and realising he's blocked, which annoys him even more. Feminines could have random messages popping up out of nowhere from people, strange conversations that makes you second guess if you're being tested. I can hear a ring doorbell sound keep going off, and Spirit is warning you that someone unexpected turning up, wishing to turn up at your door, or wants to know where you're staying. Divine Feminine is detoxing a lot of emotional purging, crying around a full moon and extra emotional, crying hysterically, not being able to stop and needing to release that emotion. There's lots of built up tension felt. This is frustration with the simple lack of movement. She's feeling the betrayal and abandoned feeling all over again. And she's skipping back to that painful cycle and purging that emotion out as it was still lingering around, so those timelines can collapse for good and be healed finally. Divine Feminines have felt stressed. They've not got enough mental capacity to deal with it all at this time. And they're thinking of abandoning the twin flame journey altogether and just calling it quits. Divine Feminine wanted to recently experiment and finally opened herself up to a portal of new opportunities and love interests. There was masculines desperate to have and keep her attention unknown to her, but unfortunately they can't keep an ounce of it. Divine Feminine is kicking them to the curb almost immediately. I'm hearing these guys saying, she won't give me a chance, she has her guard up, and she finds no jokes funny. It's because she's closed off to the idea of anyone else and is so mad inside for how her masculine has opened her up to this situation and being so free and having to experience these other men again, which she sadly doesn't desire. Once she has experienced Divine Masculine, she reminisces about him and doesn't want to have meaningless, pointless chats. I can see she's never felt this anti towards potential love offers ever in her life until now. It's also doing Divine Feminine the world of good though, being celibate, completely focusing on herself and her well-being, completing important tasks and prioritising herself. She is feeling financially stable also, and she doesn't really have time to date. Spirit is closing Divine Feminine off to the idea of possible new dates, as Spirit wishes for Divine Feminine to focus on self. Any options that have come her way recently have seriously triggered her. It's been a divine test or even a spiritual attack. She seems to have not let any of this bother her though, and she knows better now. She's bored with surface level chats. I can see someone trying to attempt to log into Divine Feminine's collective Facebook accounts, email or gain security to find out what you have been doing, recover your passwords, strange emails coming through, causing you to worry, causing confusion for the collective. This is also spiritual attacks and distractions to keep you focused on negative things as you're due a major glow up, level up. Whenever a lot of negative or bad things happen all at once, it's because whoever is sending evil eye your way knows you're leveling up. And you're going to glow up even more than you are now. And they try to prevent that. I'm seeing a lot of demonic attacks, signs and characters around, traits of demons, and Divine Feminine being spiritually well aware and protected enough to see through it and surpass it. I can see hopelessness within the collective, a lot of negative self-talk sometimes, and having to talk yourself out of feeling negative and drained. Any self-doubt or bad feelings is being mirrored directly from masculine to feminine. They harbour a lot of guilt, jealousy, doubts and lies, and sometimes it projects over to Divine Feminine. Take lots of salt baths, soap, cleanse your body, wash away any fears or doubts and stay hydrated. Divine Masculine has been having serious self-realizations. They've realised that they've always been so different, that normal rules don't apply to them, viewing things differently from others. They have started to realise also that their point of view may be correct to them, but not to Divine Feminine. They are starting to show empathy and transform, whereby at one stage they would think extremely selfishly, and the feminine has maybe expressed that to them, and now they are starting to take into consideration where they have stepped out of line. I'm hearing, come to me now, open your door, don't make me wait one moment more. A certain masculine is needing some validation that he can still feel your presence and talk to you with the same passion and energy that you both once felt around each other. There is a major hole in his heart and life since you've separated. He feels he won't ever feel whole until he is reunited and is starting to make some type of action plan regarding making himself feel better and closing the gap between himself and Divine Feminine finally. I can see he has been praying out loud. I'm showing a vision of masculine praying to God in his vehicle or a van whilst driving on the road. He is asking for God's help to bring you both closer together. He is praying that the feminine can find forgiveness in her heart truly towards him and start opening up and not be as cold towards him. I have direct angel message from Divine Feminine that they want you to step into your power, grow yourself into something new, show yourself what you can do and impress yourself. Go all out and don't stop until you succeed, whether that be financially, in business, in your family and friendships, your home life, your social life. Whatever it will be, I can see that you have been feeling like you're holding back lately and waiting for the perfect time, when the perfect time is now to start changing your life for the better. Go ahead and make the positive steps and you will feel better. I can see Divine Feminine has been looking at the masculine in a negative light again out of nowhere, and also having to talk herself out of not viewing him in that negative light after all this time has passed. She may have been on a journey for a while now. Sometimes she feels okay about him and can joke and feel light-hearted about the situation. But then she feels like she can't help but get angry with him with the cards that she's been dealt and lots of negative talk regarding him, and she is needing to change her perspectives again. Healing is different, and every day you can progress and feel like you're declining back again. But now you've come so far to go back to the old habits and ways of thinking. I'm showing Divine Masculine crying himself to sleep. Although Feminine feels that he's over it, he's not over it or the situation. And it's still just as deep for him. He can't believe this is his life. And an angel is seen mending his heart and helping him to make better decisions. The collective is feeling a strong pull towards each other. Astral projecting, strong vivid dreams. There's car registrations with their name or initials on it. Angel numbers constantly. Songs on the radio that speak to you as if your counterpart is speaking directly to you. And you might find yourself ending up driving by the street that you both met for the first time and looking around, and it's got lots of signs and symbols that are important. For example, you might look around and see the street name means something, or there is random numbers or words around the shop signs that tell you about your connection in more depth. I can see both Divine Masculine and Divine Feminine have changed their sleep schedule after feeling overwhelmed and exhausted, and are now both getting full night's sleep. It's working out for the better, getting rest. However, I can still see that they're still waking up feeling tired and exhausted, even after a full night's rest. But that is due to the pair being very active in the 5-day dream state. The pair's souls are meeting in astral world to have deep conversations, trying to open up and heal each other during the dream state. Because they are so active in the dream state, they might wake up and remember some snippets of it, and other times they might not remember at all, but they'll still be tired. I can see that a handful of Divine Feminines have been experiencing paranormal activity within their homes. I'm seeing Divine Feminine speaking with her family and friends, explaining that she's seen spirits showing themselves in a large mirror behind her. But she has not been scared whilst experiencing this. She has felt comforted, and she has recognised the face as being a face of a family member. A nice presence and not a scary one. And if this hasn't happened to you, it could happen. This is not there to scare you. You might not see it at the time or feel it, but if you ever happen to take a mirror selfie or a picture in the mirror where the mirror has a reflection, and you come to look at that image later and zoom in, you might see an angel, family member who is there with you, trying to offer you the support at the time when you need it. I can see a strong presence of a grandmother around you, coming in for Divine Feminine in the collective, letting her know that she's safe and divinely protected, especially on her twin flame journey, explaining that she knows everything and she's seen everything, and the truth will come to light, and it always does eventually. I can see Divine Feminine grocery shopping. She'll notice other people wearing similar or same items of the counterpart's clothing, and I'm getting missing clothes. Take it how it resonates, but the counterpart might have lost clothing, or she might have dumped some of his clothes outside during a clear out or even during a heated argument, and the bags of the clothes went missing. This might not be for everyone, but I'm seeing that she sees someone with the same clothing as her counterpart while shopping and remembers a time where some clothes went missing. Divine Masculine just wants you both talking and good again, and it has been so frustrating and mentally draining for him. He realised he just has a lot of mending to do and truth telling. He's at a point where he just wants to call and explain that he can't help that he fell in love with Divine Feminine in the first place, and that he keeps on falling in love every time he has an encounter with her, which is why he stays away, as the connection is far too overwhelming for him. He thinks of himself as a simple man with a simple brain, and everything is either black or white in his world. There's no in-between, no grey areas. And he finds Divine Feminine, her mind is very complex. I'm seeing that his brain gets scrambled when he's around her, and he knows that she's different and special, as this doesn't happen with any other feminine. He knows that she is his destiny, and he's just ran away from his feelings for so long, being scared, but he knows that he is miserable without her, so only he can do something about this. There are a lot of secrets and lies that are too deep-rooted. Divine Masculine feels like if he tells the truth now, everything he's said will be classed as a lie, when in fact there was a truth behind most of the things that he did say. He did have the right intentions, he just failed to express some important facts right at the beginning to the feminine, and he let his heart run away with him. I can see that it's caused problems later down the line. I've had a clear download from Spirit that Divine Masculine is preparing on being the most open and honest with communication. Eventually expressing the truth, that's something Divine Feminine has always suspected, but she's never fully knew. I heard him telling the Feminine that he wants to express the truth now and asking not to be judged. He wants her to know what's happened so she doesn't find out from anyone else. He wants the truth to come from him. But he feels wrong for telling her all this now, as he doesn't really understand why he felt the need to lie about it all anyways. Divine Masculine has been conditioned to be a liar from his upbringing. Although there is no excuse for it, he finds it hard to be honest, as he used to be punished for his honesty as a child and was silenced a lot. I can see clearly when Divine Masculine and Feminine separated, he had karmic lessons to learn, unbeknown to him. He was on a dark path and alone, emotional, with lots of choices in his mind, which he didn't know how to navigate. He ended up meeting a younger girl. I'm getting younger looking girl. I seen a vision of the girl, and she's very childlike, small, young-minded and naive. And he called this girl his girlfriend and had a relationship with this girl for some time. She was there to ultimately bring him closer with Divine Feminine and have him realise the difference between a solid love foundation and someone who is just temporary. The connection was there to keep him company and sexual based, but it was just fun and company. Although he feels that he's hurt this girl in the process, and she might be confused about this whole situation herself. I can see him hesitating, as he knows the Feminine would feel awful knowing this also, and the Feminine might not understand how he had a whole other girl or girlfriend instead of her during this tough time. Then I can see him wanting to invite the Divine Feminine round to his home, where I can see him in a different environment to what the Feminine knows he lived in. Or I'm seeing Divine Feminine has also moved address. And the Masculine is caught up about this, not knowing where she lives now. Switch it to what resonates. But in this download, I'm seeing what looks like a father figure, an uncle or an older male who accompanies the Masculine, who the Masculine has recently opened up to and confided in about his wrongdoings. And he's been honest about everything with him. I can see if you have children with your Masculine, or even without him, I can see that you're bringing your child also to this meeting and all having a day where you're at his home. If you don't resonate with children though, I see small children around helping this connection, maybe spirit children, helping to bond and grow, or the children in the download could simply symbolise you both working through your inner child wounds together when you finally sit down to have this heart-to-heart conversation. The older male is being seen explaining to the Feminine that it's lovely to meet her, as if it's the first time meeting her. And I see Divine Masculine nervous, but with great certainty, proposing that him and the Feminine get back together officially and make a commitment to each other, and that he wants to marry the Feminine and do things the correct way now, as all the lessons that he's learned have brought him to her, and he is sincerely apologising for what he's put her through. I can see whatever this other Feminine was to the Masculine, this girl is out of the picture now, and he has no ties with her at all. It was easy for him to disconnect from her, but she kept him distant from the Feminine and distracted for some time. I can see he will open up about all of this. However, the Feminine will not like to hear any of this, she'll still feel some sort of relief when he opens up and finally tells her about it. If you've not had vivid dreams yet, you will have them over the next 3 nights. The energies are high, and Divine Masculine is up late at night thinking of the feminine. He's strategically coming up with his plan. Whilst the feminine is seen socialising with friends, coming up with social plans of her own this coming months, in November and December is a significant month for the twin flames and reconciliation happening. I can see a lot of heart-to-heart energy and plans being put in place, a busy few months with some surprises that you will least expect. Like, share, comment and subscribe for more messages direct from Spirit.